Hello, hello, and welcome to the Book Buzz Show. I am your host, Cheryl Brooks. And if you're new, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. If you enjoy the upcoming show, please like, follow, subscribe, and share the broadcast so others can also enjoy it. For those of you who are new to the Book Buzz Show, we do discuss the book and we will have some minor spoilers, but we don't give any major spoilers away. Nothing that would ruin the book, the reading experience for the reader. In addition to being a live broadcast, the Book Buzz Show is now also a podcast. So you can check us out at the Book Buzz Show with Cheryl, wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure to follow our podcast so you can listen to it when you're on the go. Also, if you're looking to promote your brand or your business, product, or service, we have ad spots and sponsorship packages available. And you can go to our website to find out more about that at I Aspire Books 2, the number 2.com, to get more information regarding that. And tonight we will be discussing, let me pull it up, The Accidental Sweethearts by Joy Avery. And I can tell you that I really enjoyed this book. This is book 3, actually, in the series, the Honey Hill series. So again, this is book 3, Accidental Sweethearts, and that's the cover, so you'll know it when you see it. And without further ado, I'm going to bring on tonight's guest, Joy Avery. Welcome, Joy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Let's see. Looks like we have a few people out here already. We have LaShawn. Hello, LaShawn. Welcome.
Hi, LaShawn.
Ola, hello.
Hi, Ola.
We have Facebook user.
Hi, Facebook
user. If you want us to see your face and your name, just go to the description and click on the link to give StreamYard permission to show your face and your name. And let's see. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome.
Hi, Jennifer.
We have another Facebook user. Hello. Remember to go to the description and just click the link to give StreamYard permission to show your face. Hello, Lisa. Welcome.
Hi, Lisa.
And all right, so we'll get right into it because we have a lot to discuss. I really enjoyed the book, as I told you before we came on live. For those who are new to you, can you give us a little background on yourself and tell everyone the type of books that you write?
Yes, I am Joy Avery. I write contemporary romance. Accidental Sweethearts is my, I think, 21st book.
Okay.
That could be wrong. Don't quote me. It's 20 or 21st book. 20 or 21st book. I've been writing since I was younger, but published since, I believe my first book was published in 2020. No, that's not right. 2013. 2013.
Okay.
I should have these dates. I really should, but I don't. First, 2013. That sounds right.
And what was your first book? The title?
Smoke in the City.
Okay. Now, when you first wrote the first book, did you shop it around to traditional publishers, or did you go indie?
No, when I first started this journey, in my head, traditional publishing was what I wanted to do. I had to be a traditionally published author. So went the whole route. Agents, rejections, publishing houses, rejections. So I joined my local writers group, and there was someone there, and she was about to indie published her book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, oh, yeah, I'm hoping the best for you, but yeah, I want to go the traditional route. But then she started talking about indie publishing and making it sound so great. I said, okay, well, while I'm waiting to get discovered, let me do some research on indie. And I did some research and I said, okay. I said, well, I might can do this. So started leaning away from, okay, I still want to be traditionally published eventually. I said, but right now, let me try the indie publishing. And indie published my first book, and it's
It's been on since then,
yes,
huh?
since then, yeah.
That's good though. And what made you decide to like go from, because you said you started writing early. What made you decide to not just like write for yourself and to decide to publish?
Well, initially I wanted to write children's books. And I remember so vividly because I was a huge reader. And I always remember reading novels and being so in awe of these people who could sit down and write 50, 60, 70,000 words. I said, where do they get that type of energy? I said, I could never do that. And I that's why they say never.
Right.
And I don't know, something sparked one day. And I said, well, I'm going to attempt to write a novel. And then wrote a chapter. Well, I'm going to attempt to write another chapter. And lo and behold, I had a finished novel. Okay. Now, I've had some growth from my very first novel to this novel. I still love my early books, but yeah, with every book, I try to get a little better than I was on the previous book. So yeah,
I can constantly see growing. That definitely would be the goal, to get better with each one. And now, as a writer, are you still able to enjoy reading? Do you have time to read? Can you read and write?
Audiobooks. I have to do audiobooks now because my life seems like a ever turning circle of chaos with me being pulled in 100 different directions. So just sitting down to dedicate time to read a actual physical book is I occasionally find the time to do that, but audiobooks has been my saving grace because when I'm driving in the car, I can listen to it. When I'm working around the house, I can listen to it. When I'm working in my shop, I can listen to it. So I do try to always carve out time to listen to books.
Yeah, and I never really got the audio book thing. Although I did used to listen to remember when they were on cassettes a long time ago. I do remember on the way to work I would listen to my historical romances on the cassette. So I guess I did start with those. But now, since I started doing the show and I'm doing the group and all of that, I do both. Because like if I'm out and about, I'll do the audio if it's available. And it does. You're right. It makes it a whole lot easier to be able to do it with a busy schedule. Jennifer said that's her too. She don't know how you do it y'all do it as far as the 50,000 words and all of that. Now, when you're deep in writing mode, what does a typical day look like for you?
Deep in writing mode, I come to my writing room, shut the door, complete silence, and I have my notebook and my paper, and I'm writing and writing and writing. I can't have music because I'm going to end up stopping what I'm doing, writing.
To dance.
Personal. I'm going to have a personal concert in here. I'm going to be dancing, and then one song is going to lead to another song, and then I'm going to wonder about an artist from such and such years. I'm like a squirrel when I see a shiny object, like, woo, and I veer off. Right. So when I'm writing, I have to be focused or I will not get anything done.
Now, do you have like any writing quirks, like routine things or favorite things that you like to have, favorite items that you like to have while you're writing?
I wouldn't say I have any favorite items. I need a pen and paper. I usually don't write on my laptop or my iPad. I start everything out in my notebook and then I transfer it over to my laptop or my iPad. But yeah, no, I don't need anything special, just quiet.
Right, I hear you. So you're not one of the ones that like a lot of noise, like the one I've seen people that write in like the coffee houses and things like that with the noise. They like the noise behind as a background.
No, I have never written in a coffee shop, which is interesting because I like coffee and I like to write. So you would think
Yeah, I
that I
love
would have
coffee
made my way to a coffee shop,
too.
but no, I haven't. And I don't know. I may be able to tune that out. Just
Yeah.
not the music part, because the music part, I'm gonna just start doing a personal concert. So
Now,
I like to
do you
tune out
look
the people talking in the background.
right? That you can
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
drown that out. Yeah,
But if
tune
the
it out.
music come into play, it's a done deal.
Now, for those who don't know about the book, it's the series is set in a small town.
Yes.
What is it about? Do you like most about writing about small town living?
I think I like the closeness of the town. I like the fact that friends become family, and family in the town is everything. Whoever needs what, the town folks is there for them. They're a tight knit community. You always have someone to depend on. You're not
Right.
ever going to go without. You're not ever going to feel like you're alone. Anything you're going through,
Mm-hmm.
they already know because they gossip. Already do they gossip
Right.
all
Right.
over town, so they already know if you're going through something. You don't even have to ask. They're just there. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
love about writing the small towns and just building the small town from the ground up, and just showing the connections, the friendships, the loyalty, the love.
Yeah, I can see that because actually, as a reader too, I like that the community of it. JB is saying, she said, your favorite thing to do after deadline and the book is ready to be published. What's your favorite thing to do?
Breathe. My favorite thing to do is breathe, because I I'm I'm a procrastinator sometimes. So most of my books really go to the wire. And I'm like, oh God, I should have started this 3 months ago. Now I'm just going crazy trying to get everything done. So after I'm finished, after it's all done, I just like to breathe. And then
Mm-hmm.
I go right into thinking about what I'm going to do next.
And say you get the exhale like.
Yes. Like it's done.
JB said music is her perfect distraction too. Yeah, same here. I
Yeah.
love me some music.
Yeah.
When I'm like cleaning around the house or whatever, I'll put some music on and I'll get in just in that zone.
Everything seems to go a lot faster with music.
Right, right. And
Except my writing.
LaShawn, LaShawn, she said she loves Honey Hill the way they look out for each other. And she said she moving
She's
there.
moving there. Well, you'll have a lot of company, because I've had a lot of people tell me that they want to move to Honey Hill.
Right, right. And now, would you like to live in a small town? If you don't already, I don't know if you live in a small town, but what would be the benefits for you and the drawbacks of living in a small town? Do you think?
Well, the drawback would be everybody knowing your business. And I grew
Mm-hmm.
up in sort of a small town. You wouldn't know that it was a small town now, because it has grown so much. But yeah, one of the drawbacks is everyone knowing your business. But one of the positives is that everyone knows everyone.
Yeah,
So
I
if
can see that.
you're stranded on the side of the road, somebody's gonna pull
Right.
behind you. They're gonna know your uncle. They're gonna know your grandma. They went to school with your mama. So
Right.
there's, well, at least
No
that
stranger. You don't have to
speaking,
worry about
yeah,
right. Mm-hmm.
yeah, that
Um,
familiarity. You have never met them a day in your life, but they know your entire
right,
family.
right. Yeah, I think I would like because even like because I love Christmas too, and we were talking about that. And like I love watching the Hallmark small town Christmas movies and things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So
was just saying I am overdue to write a Christmas book. I haven't written a Christmas book, I believe, since Holiday Fling. That was my last Christmas book, and Lord, that was about 3 or 4 years ago.
okay, yeah, so
So
it's time
yep,
then.
I said that today. I need to get a Christmas book on my list.
Yeah, and I'll definitely read it because I love pulling out the Christmas books and the Christmas movies and music.
Yeah, yeah.
um, This book, Accidental Sweethearts, is part of a series. Like I said in the opening remarks, this is book 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I started with book 3, so but I wasn't lost or anything. But I do plan to go back and read the first 2 because I want to know about the first 2 couples when they got together. Although when London was talking about the enemy, how they were fighting, that's probably my least favorite trope is the enemies to lovers because it gets on my nerves, all that back and forth. But I'm still gonna read it though.
I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. Now I can't wait till you read it so I can get your thoughts on it.
I'll let you know after. Or I might say, Joy, okay, they're getting on my nerves, Joy.
Tell me if they get on your nerves. Then look at here now.
Yeah, but for those who haven't read the series yet, can you give us an overview of what the series is about?
Well, the series is about men who love their women. They have to fight for them, but they're dedicated to getting them. It's about a lot of the characters were either born in Honey Hill, moved away, experienced something negative, moved back because Honey Hill is home. That's what I say. Honey Hill is home, and that's where they felt that they needed to be. Whether they intended to stay as long as they have or not, they went and never left because they love being there. They're there to heal because they know it's just family there. They're friends, but they're more like family. They know they have the support that they need. And it's small town set in North Carolina. It's a lot of quirky characters in there.
I love the quirkiness of some of the characters just in the 3rd book alone. So I can imagine the first 2 as well.
Yeah, they're liable to say anything.
Yes. Now, what is the backstory of the main characters, Happy and Sebastian, in the Accidental Sweethearts? What's their backstory?
Sebastian was in a committed relationship. He was left at the altar. She left him for her ex, the person she previously dated before him. So he had shunned love. It was absolutely no way he was making that mistake again. Happy, she came from a relationship where her ex was very manipulative. He was a narcissist. He did and said whatever he could in an attempt to break her. But she was a strong woman, remained resilient, got to Honey Hill, thrived, and her and Sebastian accidentally end up married. Right. They found out sometimes mistakes are the best blessings.
Right. And Happy, by the way, I love that name. How did you come up with that name for her?
How did I have no idea. I probably, when I first, in book 1, I probably could remember where Happy came from. So I don't know where I got Happy from. I probably saw, to be honest, I probably looked at something that it said Happy Days or something. That's right. That's a good name. My rituals are just a little odd. I look at something and transcribe the letters. It's like, oh, that may make a good name.
Right. So let me just change the letters. Now, did you have anybody in particular in mind for inspirations for either the main characters, like a celebrity inspiration or anything?
I do not. And I don't know if any of my books, I imagine early on, maybe, I can't even remember early on. I don't go online and say, let me find this celebrity and see, let me base them off that. Normally it's like a picture, because the cover for this, going through looking for what the image that I wanted on the cover, I tend to tailor my characters to the images that I find to represent them on the book. It doesn't always happen that way, but that is my goal, to have them sort of resemble the characters on the covers.
Yeah, I love, and I meant to tell you, I love that cover as well. And
thank you.
The guy that is Sebastian on there. Now, were you going to read an excerpt from the book?
Yes, I can.
Yes, this is a good opportunity to do that.
Let's see. We're going to What am I reading? This is the part where Sebastian and Happy had a little bit of a disagreement in her shop, and he left. He was going to see his best friend Canton, but the OGs, if you read the book, the OGs, the gentlemen, are we hello? Oh, are we still? Are we
I just
still
put
there?
you
Okay,
front. I just put you front so you can do the
disappeared.
excerpt.
I'm like,
I'm
it
still
says,
here.
I was like, it says live. Okay. So he went to go see them at the barbershop. Okay, so Sebastian wanted to believe his week couldn't get any worse, but at the rate things were going, anything was possible, evident by the fact he'd become a husband and homeless in the span of a day. Two wholly different but equally taxing problems. Fortunately, he was headed to rectify one of them now. And I told y'all the wrong excerpt. I have two listed in here. This is the one where they're visiting the lawyer's office, thinking they're about to get an annulment. Okay, he climbed the steps of the deep blue Victorian style home that housed Joyner Law. He performed a number of renovations on the coveted structure. It had been one of the first large jobs he'd undertaken right after starting his business. The wraparound porch remained one of his favorite overhauls. Inside, he scrutinized the hardwood flooring. It looked as nice now as it did the day he had installed it. The opulence of modern furnishings, along with the cream, chocolate, and gold decor, reminded him of something you'd see in a big city law firm, not one in a small town. Hey, Sebastian. Sebastian turned to see Gree Pointer standing behind the hand-carved wood desk, arms crossed over her chest, eyeing him like he was today's lunchtime special at her favorite restaurant. Her royal blue hair clashed with the space's muted color scheme. One thing he could say about Gree, the woman truly embraced her own style. What's up, Gree? I like the hair. Thank you, she said, her faux green eyes eyeing him from head to toe. Happy has magic fingers. I'm guessing you would know better than anybody. The smirk Gree wore told him he knew exactly what was going on, that she knew exactly what was going on. A couple of days ago, when he'd agreed with Happy about having Marshall handle their annulment, he hadn't even considered that the Gree component. As Marshall's receptionist / assistant, she handled most of the paperwork. As an employee, was she bound by the same client, attorney confidentiality? They're waiting for you in Marshall's office. Thanks. He started that way, but stopped. Gree? My lips are sealed, she said, clearly anticipating his next words. He winked and continued on. You better stop that sexy stuff, she said, just loud enough for him to hear. Ah, Sebastian. Marshall waved him into the office, standing to shake his hand. Eyeing Marshall was kin to looking in the face of Judge Joyner, Marshall's father. The only difference, Marshall was a few pounds lighter and an inch or two taller. And unlike his father, Marshall sported a head full of reddish-looking curls. Last time Sebastian crossed paths with Judge Joyner, the man had been completely gray. Sorry I'm late, he said. He'd been tied up with the homeowner's insurance adjusters. The one silver lining of the week, the adjuster had assured him he would have a check by next week, meaning he could start to rebuild. Happy stood to give him a hug. Hey, he said, kissing her cheek. Now that you're both here, we can get started. Marshall directed Sebastian into the empty chair next to Happy. The round conference table held only a manila folder. Sebastian assumed it contained their paperwork. For some reason, Sebastian expected Marshall to ask 101 questions about how they'd ended up here. But to his surprise, he didn't. Marshall educated them on the process, pretty much mimicking what Happy had said, then opened the folder holding several documents. After signing, they will need to be certified with and a knock sounded at the door, pausing Marshall mid-sentence. Several seconds later, Judge Joyner walked in. Sebastian shifted in his chair. What was Judge Joyner doing here? This was the last person he wanted to know. He wanted to know about what had happened in Vegas. Judge, Marshall said, standing to shake his father's hand. Sebastian and Happy followed suit. Judge Joyner, Sebastian said, feeling like a school kid standing before the principal after getting caught in mischief. Mr. Charles, Mrs. Charles, Judge Joyner said, fine day we're having. Well, it had been until he entered the room. So much for confidentiality. Since Judge Joyner apparently knew exactly why they were there today, Sebastian took him calling Happy Mrs. Charles as a jab. Perfect timing, Judge. Perfect timing. Sebastian didn't have to wait long to learn what that meant. Marshall turned towards Sebastian and Happy as I was about to say, my father will be certifying your annulment. Judge Joyner moved behind Marshall's desk and eased down, the brown leather chair squawking up under the man's weight. Resting his hand on the desk, he interlocked his chubby fingers. Young folks, he sighed. Nowadays, you young folks have such a disdain for everything, including something as sacred as marriage. From past experience, Sebastian knew the judge loved dishing out sermons so much so Sebastian wondered if he had been a preacher in a past life. Well, he hoped this one didn't drag on too long. Judge Joyner scribbled something on a notepad. And this is something you both want to do? Happy nodded. Absolutely. Yes, Sebastian said. For whatever reason, he couldn't resist the urge to glance over at Happy. Obviously, she couldn't either because they turned simultaneously, their gazes colliding. She smiled a little, and so did he. When he turned away to refocus on Judge Joyner, Sebastian's elation evaporated the second he noticed the way the grim-faced man studied them. Judge Joyner's eyes slid away from them into a picture on Marshall's desk. Retrieving it, he studied the images of his late wife and his eldest son. Mrs. Joyner and I were married for over 50 years. I never knew a bad day with her. When Judge Joyner smiled, it was like seeing an actual unicorn after years of believing they didn't exist. Judge Joyner continued, his eyes never leaving the frame. Marriage is a constantly changing landscape. You laugh, you love, you learn about each other, but more importantly, you learn about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities. Sebastian had no idea why the judge was sharing any of this. All he wanted to do was sign the papers and get out of there. But he silently listened. The right partner makes your weaknesses seem like superpowers. Will change your vulnerabilities from sinkholes to stepping stones. Judge Joyner finally replaced the frame, then focused on them. Times certainly have changed. Young folks now just hopping around doing any and everything they're big enough to do, believing your actions won't have consequences. The judge looked from Sebastian to Happy, back to Sebastian. Well, they do. An uneasiness washed over Sebastian, causing him to shift in his seat. The second the two of you exchange rings, you made a commitment to one another. That should mean something to both of you, but clearly it doesn't. The moment reminded Sebastian of when he had been reprimanded by his 5th grade teacher for accidentally putting gum in a classmate's hair. Luckily for him, the judge couldn't send him to detention. Judge Joyner continued, I'm hoping that it will. I also hope that you learn something from this entire ordeal. Learn something from and about each other, and maybe even about yourselves. He paused for a beat or two, which is why I'm blocking the annulment.
Yeah, that was a big shocker to a big shocker to them.
Yeah, because they went there with one purpose, is to get this annulment. They were counting on it, looking forward to it, and boom.
Right. Judge Joyner was something else, but sometimes you need somebody to get you out of your own way, and they definitely needed somebody. They needed some help with that.
Yes, but, the elders in Honey Hill are good at getting you out your own way.
Right. And I could just imagine when I was reading, I could picture that the look on their faces when he told them that.
Yes, happy. She was a little taken aback by the
Right,
whole thing. And he just said she needs a second to process it all.
Yeah. Now I liked Happy and Sebastian as a couple, but I also liked them as individuals. So and I loved how they were together. Although, like I told you, I can't stand that when they downplay. I don't like the back and forth, but I also don't like when they downplay their feelings and stuff. Right? But with this couple, I actually I didn't mind it as much because they actually were on that path, even though they couldn't see it at first. Yeah, so
because they were friends before they were anything else. They were
right.
really good friends before anything else. So that started them off on a good place there,
Right.
and we got to see how considerate of each other they were. How when Sebastian's house burned down, she didn't hesitate inviting him into her home. Right. And we got to see the things that he needed to hear at the moment, and she told him that that really touched him. So I think their friendship, they started with a friendship, but I think first their friendship grew even more right. solid, which helped with their relationship.
And I think it was mentioned too that they both were attracted to each other, even though they were friends.
Yes.
In the beginning, anyway. But with everything they had been through, they never went any further with it. And Facebook user said on the outside they were shocked, inside they were both happy. Right.
Yeah. They might have not been happy in that particular moment. But
right.
They got there.
Right. At that point, they were still very much in denial about how what they wanted. But let's see. We're going to get a little bit into the book, and I wanted to talk about some of my favorite moments in the book. Now, I had several of them. But one of them was when Happy, when she was having a nightmare and Sebastian was holding her and whispering in her ear, and it ended up calming her down.
Yes.
When she was asleep, she knew that just by him being there and whispering in her ear that she was safe. I love that.
Yes. That was one of my favorite scenes too.
Yeah, I love that. And then I also love the discussion between Happy and her aunts on the front porch when their friend was there and Harriet was letting her know about the one that got away. I thought I love that. And she got to see the parallels between what Harriet had gone through and her own situation.
Yeah. And she read her the poem about it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. One of the third one was the conversation between Sebastian and his father on the balcony during the wedding reception. Yeah, I love the bond that showed through between them. And then the little lighter moments like his father looking around to make sure his wife wasn't around when he was fucking the cigar.
Drop that cigar and crushed it up on it.
Yes.
He was like, okay, grown man. He said he was a grown man.
Right.
Smoked that cigar whenever he wanted to smoke that cigar.
Right. I love that scene. And
but yeah, they're a very tight-knit family. Just their core family with Riley and Sebastian and their parents.
And that came through. Even with this being the third book, it came through the bond between all of them and the rapport between the father and son. Now, what was your favorite scene to write? Was it the one? I know that's hard.
My favorite scene to write. That's a hard one. I loved any scene with little Zachary in it. Yes, I loved any scene with little Zachary.
We have somebody, Ola is saying Zachary too. Yeah, me too, Ola. Yeah. Those were definitely favorite moments too.
In every book, he's played a pretty pivotal role in getting the couples together.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to go back and read the first two because I loved his character. You did a great job. Because one thing I love when the authors are able to make the children, give the children personality, and they're three dimensional. I've read some where the children are just like black. Yeah, Zachary definitely had personality. I loved him.
With his little nosy self.
Yes, yes. And now I also had some heartfelt, touching moments that I loved when I was reading. And one of those, and let me see, there were several of those as well. One was when Sebastian's house, with the situation with his house, and then when he came to the house, and then the entire community was there to support him.
Yep, that's Honey Hill. That's Honey Hill.
Love that.
You don't even have to ask. They're already there. They already know what you need, or they're assuming what you need, or hoping that whatever they're bringing you're gonna need. Yep.
And like you said, that's one of the benefits of being, that I can imagine of being in a small town, having that support.
Yep.
Yep. And then the scene where Happy's, like we were talking about, Happy's bad dream, that was another heartfelt moment. Because when she woke up and she was telling him about it, she told him that whenever he's around, I think she said something similar to that. Whenever he was around, that she felt safe or something like that.
Yep. And her dream, she was dreaming about the dragon getting closer and doing when he cuddled her and
right.
Like, wait, what are you doing? He said, I'm protecting you from the dragons,
right?
So you can sleep.
Because at first he made it clear that he did not cuddle. But with her, he made that exception. He felt like he had to protect her. I love that. And when he told her that with the ex, when the ex said that he was weak or something like that, he was too soft. And when Happy told him, you're not soft, you're what is the word she used? Oh my goodness, you remember what you?
Lord, I wish I could remember.
But it was perfect. It was a perfect thing to say to him because he didn't come across as weak at all. Yeah, he was. He just wasn't. He was thoughtful.
Yeah, he was thoughtful. Was it? Yeah, he's not a weak man, and he's gonna fight for the woman that he loved. In all the books, the men will fight for the women that they love. They'll go above and beyond for them.
Yes, and another touching moment for me was when Sebastian surprised Happy with making her dream a reality.
Yes,
I love that.
With Happy Curls 2.0.
Yes. And when Happy surprised him with his birthday gift with the record, replacing his record collection that had got destroyed. So I was like, in their eyes, they didn't think it was anything to it, but they were showing the other one. They were being seen, and I loved it.
That touched him when she had when he opened that box and saw all those records in there, because he's a big music head. He's a big music head, and he saw all those records in there. First, he was like, "I noticed it cost you a fortune to to purchase all these." And she's like, "You know what? That's not a concern. We're not worried."
Right. And Ola is saying, yes, they made each other happy, most definitely. And it was like second nature to them. They were both nurturing, and I love them together, and I enjoyed the book so much. What was a heartfelt moment for you in the book that you enjoyed?
A heartfelt moment. There's several of them. I'm trying because I'm in the throes writing book 4, so I'm trying not to remember.
Right. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What happened in book 3? So if I throw something out, and y'all be like,
right. Say, when did that happen? Right. Okay, audience, you all let us know too. What was a heartfelt moment for you all in the book? And then let us know in the comments what was a heartfelt moment for you all as well.
Yes, I thought one heartfelt moment is when Sebastian was sitting on the couch and him and Happy was talking when they had just flown back, and he had learned that his house had burned down.
Oh yeah.
And she was telling him, "Look, I'm here for you. You have a place here for as long as you need it.
Yes.
It's like you don't need to worry about your house. It'll get rebuilt. We're here for you. You have friends. You have people that care about you.
Right.
So yeah, that was one of the
I love
moments that I
too.
like.
Tony Benita is saying Zachary needs to grow up and have his own story. Yeah, he is something else. That is definitely, and we're going to get into Zachary because the next thing I wanted to highlight is you had some very funny and lighthearted moments throughout the book, and Zachary was a major character in the lighthearted moments. And one of my favorite was when he was talking about when they were at the dinner, and he was telling Sebastian's mother about how they ended up accidentally married, and he was talking about the gray goose, and you get loose with the gray goose.
See, he thinking it's something that you like, chicken that you can eat.
Right.
See,
yes,
he had been earjacking again.
Right.
The conversation.
Right, and I can just see because that's something that kids really do. So I can just see that, and then repeating it, and getting all jumbled. But when he was talking to Sebastian, and he was telling him about his best friend Jonathan's parents, and he was saying how they had a falling out. But then talking about the father when he was telling him, take this meat. He said they must have, if he wanted to share with her his meat. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God. He's so innocent. He has no idea the stuff that he be repeating. He has no idea the context of it. But
I think my husband thought something was going on because I was cracking up when I was reading that.
Sebastian was like, Lord Jesus, this kid. But yeah.
All I'm saying, Zachary said he had never eaten a gray goose, right? Man, he was something else. But you know what really had me rolling is Sebastian's reaction to when Zachary was telling him about Jonathan's parents. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he said, well, okay,
myself too in that situation, like, oh my goodness, what does this kid just say?
Yeah. And he has, and everybody, all of the men and the women would understand because he done got all of them in some situations.
Right.
Whoa.
But that's what I loved about the book too. It was so authentic because I could just picture. I have kids that I've been around that were just like that when they were growing up. LaShawna saying she enjoyed the entire book, the cookout with friends and family, the talks. The two older ladies were happy. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Most definitely. There were so many good, funny moments and heartfelt moments and touching moments. And another lighthearted moment was Mrs. Farrell's at the church when she was giving the church announcements.
That sweet church lady. She didn't mean no harm, but she needed to get out what she needed to get out. She needed to let them know.
She was putting it out there. She said, I'm gonna let you know ahead of time.
got to wrench that meat. Make sure you're wrenching that meat.
Right. Oh my goodness.
God brought salvation, not salmonella.
Yeah, that was definitely another one that had me rolling. And then, but I think the funniest one was Happy when she had the dental surgery and her and Sebastian was in the car. And that whole scene was hilarious with the cop. And it was like
Sebastian was trying to take care of Happy. She was what she needed. Here's this crazy cop that won't let him go, thinking he was Barney Fife, a Honey Hill. You'll let him go and said he was kidnapping her.
Oh my goodness, that was hilarious. And then she tried to open the door because it was just crazy. And, I said I could just visualize the entire scene. And
she thought they had left Lucky at the dental office.
Yes,
pull out his teeth. Yeah.
I loved it, and I'm a dog lover, so I love when dogs are incorporated into stories. So I love Lucky, and another touching moment was when he got off. Well, she didn't have the leash. She was carrying him.
Yes.
Yes, and he ran
Yes.
away and almost got hit, and she burst into tears. I'm like,
Yep.
goodness.
Yep.
And
That probably really, that would totally be me when I had dogs. Both of them,
right,
both
me
of them
too. I would have been
going on to
boo-hooing,
doggy
like
glory.
my
Yep.
nerves would have been gone.
Yep. That would have been the same way.
Yes, and what I love too is once her that Riley, is it Riley, Sebastian's sister? Is it Riley
Yes.
her name? When
Yes.
she contacted him because she knew that he's a common,
Mm-hmm.
he would have calmed her down.
Mm-hmm. He
Yeah,
knew
I
it.
love
Yep.
that.
She knew exactly what to do to get, because she, well, you haven't read their book, but she knew, in her mind, well, it didn't show that, but in her mind, she knew the Canton would have been the one to calm her down. So naturally, Sebastian would be the one to calm Happy down.
Right.
Everyone saw
Right, and that's usually how it is too. They see
Yeah.
what you don't want to see or what
Mm-hmm.
you can't see. But even the opposite way, when you have the rose-colored glasses and they see like the X,
Yep.
they saw through them.
Yep. Yep. The same thing. You're right. It's say opposite thing. They see
Yes,
the triflingness that you may not see, the red
right.
flags that you ignore. Yep.
And another thing that you had throughout the book that I love, one of my favorite things to read about are strong friendships, and you definitely had
Mm-hmm.
that in the book with both Happy and her sister friends, and Sebastian and his brotherhood with his guy friends, and
Yes.
loved the bond between all of them and how they supported each other.
I love to write how in my head I think friendships should go.
Right,
Loyal,
right,
honest, caring, there for the individual, non-judgmental.
right.
Yep.
I
So.
agree, and I love reading that because we don't sometimes we get a bad rap. People of color, especially that we don't, especially women, we can't maintain friendships or have
Mm-hmm.
friendships. So I love
Mm-hmm.
whenever that's showcased that we have strong bonds as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I love that aspect of it too. And I think I mentioned this before. The moments between Sebastian and Happy, they felt so authentic that I fell in love with them as a couple. Just love them.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
and I can't wait to go back and read the first two books to get a little more of the first two couples because we got a glimpse of them in this book. But I want to,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I'll let you know about how I feel about London and
Yeah,
and Quaid. Is it Quaid word?
it's Quaid. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
London
yeah,
and Quaid. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Because Enemies to Lovers is not my favorite, but
But see, I like that enemies to lovers and friends to lovers. Probably my two favorite tropes.
yeah, I love Friends to Lovers and I love Second Chances, but Enemies to Lovers, as long as it doesn't drag, because usually sometimes the back and forth gets on my nerve. It really can get on. I'm like, oh my goodness. I read one book before, and I can't even remember the name of the book. It was years ago. But the couple got on my nerves so bad. I was like, I didn't even want them together. By the end of the book, I'm like, y'all don't even need to be together.
You're like, both y'all toxic.
Right.
You don't need to be together. Y'all ain't gonna cause nothing.
Right, I'm
but
like, y'all don't
drama
need
and
to be
heartache.
together. Yes, but you
I
did a
try to make
great
I
job.
try to make it all worth it by the end. By the
Yes,
end,
I'm
it is
I'm
completely worth
definitely
it.
gonna reach out to you when I read it, let you know how it's going with me. Well, we are almost at the time. Do you have any projects or anything coming up that you can share with us? Any new releases or anything?
Now I'm working on Honey Hill Book 4, and I do have the title is A Sweet Twist of Faith.
Okay.
No, that's not right. So yes, sweet twist of fate.
Oh, Fate. Okay.
Yes, fate. And that is Zeta and Ezekiel's book. And
Which is another Enemies to Lovers, right?
yes,
I got that.
well,
I got that from this book.
she
Yeah.
only enemy on her part. She's the one that has the complete
Right.
problem
Right.
with him. He's just living his life.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited about writing this book because it's I won't say it's different from the other three, but I guess it is different because he's a ex-convict.
Okay.
So he's trying to find himself, and really doesn't need the distraction or want the distraction of love. But Honey Hill just does something to these men. These Honey Hill women, they do something to them. So it's I'm
And I
enjoying
can
writing
tell
the
just from this
journey.
book that she has strong, very strong feelings against
Yes.
him.
Yes. She don't like him. She doesn't like the fact that her grandmother loves him so much. She just can't understand, but she will. She'll understand why, because it is the reason her grandmother feels the way she does about him, and the reason why Zeta feels the way about him. It'll all come full circle. It's a reason, and a really good reason, why she feels the way she
Okay.
does.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited for you guys to read this one.
And Ola is telling me that I'm going to love the other two books. She said just being a Honey Hill would see me through. Okay. So the friends, the enemies, the lovers, I get through it, Ola. With the Honey Hill would send me through. Okay. See me through. I can't wait to read it though. Honestly, I love the just the small town feel of everybody supporting each other.
I
Bella
just
is saying that she loved the series too.
I totally have to thank the readers for they have loved the way they have loved Honey Hill. I mean, I just sit back and I'm like, wow, I love writing the books. I love the town. I would just didn't. I don't think I knew that it was going to resonate the way it does. Honey Hill is, it is something special.
I know that felt good to see how people reacted
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody, let's see, LaShawn is asking when will the next one come out?
Sometime next year. We'll say before July of next year. I don't have a set date quite yet, but it will be before July.
Okay, that's something I'm looking forward to. And Tony Benita is saying she agreed with Ola as far as that book with the book of See Me Through with London and Quay's story. Okay, the Honey Hill will see me through. All right, I'm gonna hold y'all to that. All right. But yeah, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I always love seeing you. Like I told you, we haven't seen each other since LaShuri's event. So
yeah, it's been a while. Thank
yeah,
you
it's
for
been a
having
long
me.
while.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to come back when the next book comes out so we can
anytime.
All right, sounds good. And I want to thank you again and thank everybody in the audience for joining us tonight and
thank
being
you guys.
so excited and participating. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming out and support. Thank you for all the love you showed me and Honey Hill. Just thank you.
Yes, and if you haven't read it, for anyone who hasn't read the book yet or the series, please make sure you go out and get it. I can tell you for sure that book 3 was excellent, so I'm pretty sure that the rest of them are just as good. You can tell from what everybody is saying in the audience. And everybody's telling us good night, and JB says she enjoyed it, and Lisa says she enjoyed it.
Thank you guys for coming.
All right, and I'll see you all next week with another author. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.